Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Am I the A-hole? Story 1. AITA for showing a spreadsheet of everything I pay for and showing their dad doesn't do shit. Used the wrong there in the title, on my phone, sorry. Okay, I'm getting mixed opinions from this. Two kids 13 and 11, I'm not going to lie, we live a pretty frugal life, all my extra money I make goes into their college accounts or fun weekends. Dad has them once a month and is the fun parent. Can't get his child payments in but willing to do a surprise trip to Kennywood. It's frustrating, all right. I try not to say anything bad about him, but he has been pushing the narrative that without him and the money he gives me we wouldn't have the home. It's so false, and now the kids are going, well, Dad pays for this. My last straw is when the kids told me that it's Dad who pays for the home. So I pulled up my budget spreadsheet and it includes all the stuff that he pays for, so child support, and he hasn't paid for the past 2 months. The kids were upset for being lied to and the oldest get in an argument with him since she called to confirm. We got in an argument and he is calling me a jerk. My friends are split on this and I am wondering if I went too far. Story 2. AITA for delaying my pregnancy announcement to my bro and sis-in-law. My 31F, sister-in-law, 33F, and my bro, 33M, made their pregnancy announcement to me 6 weeks into the pregnancy, and I congratulated them and was very happy for them. I was the first person they shared this information with. I find out 2 days after their announcement that I too am expecting. My husband, 35M, decided to wait till the end of first trimester to announce anything to anybody due to 2 reasons. My sil was expecting to be pampered and fawned over for her announcement and we did not want to steal her spotlight. I lost my mother-in-law 8 months ago and we as a family are still grieving and navigating our own home situation. And we just did not want any bad vibes towards the baby, so we wanted to wait for as long as possible to announce. We finally made the announcement at 2.5 months mark. And we announced to our first family at the same time with custom gifts. This really made my sil and bro angry as they were expecting I would share this news with them first. They just really yelled at me for not sharing and asking for any guidance and trying to navigate this on my own. I guess the anger is just coming out of concern. But this has been going on for almost a month now. Having tried to reach out to them multiple times, I now feel that I could have handled this entire situation differently and has me wondering if I really am in the wrong here. Story 3. AITA for walking out on a surprise baby shower my friends threw me. I, 24F, am currently 30 weeks pregnant. Anyone who knows me knows how much I love kids and how badly I want to have my own. So naturally when I found out I was over the moon, I decided to tell my close friends the news early on, and I hosted a dinner at my place and brought out a cake at the end of to announce the news to them all. I expected them to be excited for me because they all knew how much it meant to me, but they gave me half-hearted responses along the lines of "Oh, congrats, I had no idea," etc. I was underwhelmed by their reaction, but I initially brushed it off as shock, before they then started to question my decision to have the baby. I was bombarded with questions and advice about how I was too young, I haven't known my boyfriend long enough, he wasn't going to be a good dad, etc. I knew they never really liked my boyfriend, but I never expected them to vocalize that when I just announced the happiest news of my life to them. I was left feeling incredibly hurt and betrayed by that night. Despite those events, I still kept contact with those friends, but I wasn't as close to them as I was before that night. Still, I received an invitation to a friend SMA's party they were hosting. It felt as though they were extending an olive branch, so I accepted the invitation. Turns out their friend SMA's party was actually a surprise baby shower for me. They had put in a lot of work with the decorations and food. I had been just starting the process of discussing my baby shower with my sil who had taken charge of planning it for me, so I thought she was in on the surprise. I was really overjoyed by the gesture initially, but then realized they hadn't invited a single one of my family members. I had been so excited to share my baby shower with my mum, Nan, and sil who I'm very close to. Instead, they had invited some of their own friends who I barely knew. That made me feel that this was not a genuine attempt to apologize, but rather a superficial action to clear their conscience about that night. In the time between then and now none of them had apologized about what happened. I told them I had no interest in taking part in this baby shower, and that if they really cared about me they wouldn't have excluded my family in place of some people I barely knew. I started to walk out of the baby shower and one of my friends followed after, telling me how rude I was being after all the work they put in. I'm torn. I feel like I horribly overreacted to what was a nice gesture. If it was a genuine attempt at an apology I've gone and jeopardized any chance of repairing the friendship. But also, I've dreamt up my first baby shower for years, and the thought of experiencing that without my closest family would feel empty. My boyfriend and Sil both say I did the right thing by walking out, but they both have an emotional connection to the issue. I need an objective response. AITA? Story 4. AITA, am I the asshole for being frustrated by my roommate? I'm not sure if this is the right subreddit because I have yet to actually confront my roommate about this, but I intend to. So for context, I live with 3 roommates, and share a bathroom with one. For simplicity I'll call this person A. So although me and A are good friends, and get along well, I have had this frustration with them for a while because every single time I go to the bathroom, they suddenly need the bathroom too. I'm not talk 10 minutes after I've gone in there, or even 5, I mean literally as soon as I shut and lock the bathroom door, I can hear the door to their room, right across the hall from the bathroom, like 5 feet apart, open, and then they're knocking asking me to hurry or texting me as soon as the door is closed that they need the bathroom. They're never rude about it, always polite, but also always seconds after I've entered. This wouldn't be that weird if it wasn't so frequent, but if I had to guess I would say this happens probably 8 out of 10 times when I go to the restroom. It happens more often than not. And what's even weirder is that this tends to happen when I get up for work and go to brush my teeth and / or shower too. Why is that weird? Because we know each other's schedules. I know they get up at 3 a.m. on work days and 6 a.m. on off days. They know I get up at 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. on work days, and around 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on off days. So by the time I get up to get ready for work in the morning they have already been up for 4.5 or 5 hours, and somehow they didn't find the time to brush their teeth in that time before I needed to brush my teeth and get ready for work. And they're a very well organized and structured person, so I know it can't be for a lack of planning. The whole situation feels so odd to me, there's no way it can be a coincidence. And I also know it can't be that our bladders have weirdly similar timing because A never goes to the bathroom right as I need to, just the other way around, they only need to go once I'm entering the restroom. I have yet to confront them about any of this, although I have admittedly been cold to A couple of times when they texted me immediately after I went to the bathroom. I have responded with "Why do you always need the bathroom as soon as I go in here and I just got in here," both of which they simply replied with "Sorry." Is this normal roommate behavior? Am I the asshole for being upset about this even though I have yet to directly tell them it bothers me? Or am I justified in being upset? Story 5. AITA, for wanting to stay with my family a bit longer. My husband, 26M, and I, 27F, have been friends since HS, stayed in touch throughout the years. We started talking 2021, and he was planning to move within a few months of us hanging out, so we both decided to be FWB. Things got serious, and we fell in love with each other before he moved off island, and we wanted to give LDR a shot. We hit it off so well that we got married in August 2023. He's in the military, got stationed in October 2023. I didn't go on the initial move to where he's at, due to being financially unstable. But now we've saved up a little more, we had a firm date in mid-January 2024 of when I should book my flight, but held off for cheaper flights. The unforeseen happened, my dad had gotten a stroke. The left side of his body went numb. My mom went into a full panic, and begged me to delay my flight and stay a bit longer. He's been in the hospital for over a week now, got PT, and is now going to be transferred over to rehab. His results are promising. So I wanted to discuss with my husband to buy the plane ticket, but now my older brother asked me if I could delay my flight to help care/support my dad. I felt uneasy. My entire life has revolved around my family and religion. My mom was the strictest on me. Always tracked my locations, wanted to know where I was, who I was with at all times, etc. I did everything for them. Now back to buying a ticket for my flight. My husband and I have been doing LDR for 2 years now, with many vacations in between. We never really had the chance to be together. I told him the issue about how my family wants me to stay back just a bit longer till my dad gets better. I was stuck and confused. My husband says that I decide what I want to, and he'll support me through it. He also told me to see what my dad thought about everything. So I asked my dad if he wanted me to stay a bit longer, and he said yes. Just like 2 more weeks. I brought up that I won't be able to help as much as I am shipping my car and won't have a job and can't support them financially. But both parents told me that they don't need that they just want me here for more family support. I decided to stay here for 2 more weeks. I brought this up to my husband, and now he's upset with this. I get where he's coming from, that we set this flight date a long time ago, and he was looking forward to having me there. And now he keeps telling me that what he think doesn't matter, and it's making me feel terrible. AITA? Story 6. AITA for sending bride a bill. So I, 32F, am a stay-at-home mom to 5 kids ages 13, 11, 6, 3, and 18 months. My friend, let's call her Stacy, 30F, recently got married. About 6 months before her wedding she asked me to make 75 cupcakes for her wedding. Baking is a hobby of mine and I have gotten very good at it. I agreed even though I'm not part of the wedding party and was doing this as a friend. Stacy also had 5 other people helping make the food. Well, she calls me 3 weeks before the wedding and asks me to make 1 hungry pan of baked beans. At this point I'm still under the impression that it is going to be a smallish wedding, so I say sure. So fast forward to 1 week before the wedding and she calls me and tells me the guest list has grew slightly. She then tells me she needs 3 huge pans of baked beans and wants me to use a specific recipe instead of my own, and now needed 300 cupcakes instead of 75. As well as she doesn't want me to use box mix for the cupcakes, which I had planned to use since I'm buying all the ingredients for everything I'm making. She wants them to be homemade including the frosting. Told me I was a lifesaver and ended the call before I had a chance to say anything. So for 2 days before the wedding I was in my kitchen baking and cooking, while also taking care of my kids. So the wedding comes, I take everything to the venue and helped set everything up. Fast forward to about a week after the wedding, a mutual friend called me to ask about my thank you basket from Stacy. Come to find out she sent everyone a thank you basket for helping with the wedding, including the other people that helped with making the food, except me. I called her and talked with her. I figured I needed to let her know I had not gotten mine. I know that sounds entitled. I just thought since everyone else had gotten one, maybe mine got lost. That's when she told me that she never sent me one cause I'm a stay-at-home mom, so it was no big deal for me to help with stuff for the wedding, but everyone else had actual jobs, so it was an inconvenience for them to help but not me. I told her that it was hard for me to help as well and to accept a bill in the mail from me. Which I did. I charged her for everything I had bought to make the food. I included copies of the receipts, a delivery fee, a setup fee, and charged her for my time to making everything. It totaled to right at $900. Now I have a few mutual friends telling me I'm an offer charging her. So AITA? That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.